Hi, I'm Krista Mehr,
And I'm Lynn Crane Brueckman.
and this is our second episode of
Wine About the Market.
where we drink wine and we talk about real estate.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The first thing we do is what?
We have to play spin the bottle.
We play a little game.
White, red, or rosé.
Okay, so we're spinning tonight. You ready?
What is it?
Tonight we're drinking white. And that's a good thing because it's beautiful outside.
It is really gorgeous
It's
here.
gorgeous here in Seattle.
It's 85 degrees in Issaquah.
The sun is shining, and these are the days where we are so thankful for where we live because it's absolutely beautiful.
I'm so thankful that I don't live in Arizona in the month of July. It's really hot down there.
Yes.
And my dad loves it, but it's too hot for me.
Well, cheers, Krista.
Cheers.
Second
Lynn.
episode.
Yeah. Mm,
Good stuff.
that is really good stuff.
So what are we going to talk about tonight? Let's see. What's happening in the market?
Who is that?
Who's here?
I don't know. Who could it be?
Who could it be? I'm going to check.
Hey!
Oh
It's
my
Rob.
God!
What's
It's
happening?
Rob Tamiella.
Welcome.
What you doing?
Hey, buddy, you want a glass of wine?
You know, I'm not much of a wine guy, but I happen to have a beer in my hand.
Oh, okay. You need an opener? Or are you gonna open it up with your teeth?
I just went to the dentist. I'm good. I'm going to use this opener.
Oh, perfect.
Sweet.
How's it going,
Oh,
guys?
cool.
What's new?
Have a seat.
We're just
Thank
enjoying
you.
this beautiful day, chilling out.
Right on.
We're actually not going to whine about the market because the market's pretty good
Cheers,
right now.
Rob.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It is
I want
picking
to
up a little
introduce
bit.
everyone to Rob Tamiella Mortgage.
Hi there.
We've done a lot of deals together over the last couple of years and learned a lot from Rob, and thought it's great that you stopped by. We can talk about
What a
interest
coincidence.
rates.
Yeah, I know. What are the odds, right? I mean, I just stopped by like that. It's cool.
It's so
Awesome.
crazy.
It happens a lot though, so that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
This is kind of a party house.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Welcome.
So
Well,
thank
cool.
you. Good to be here.
Gosh, since you're here, maybe we should talk about real estate loans and interest rates and like home lending because that's what you do. Why don't
That's exactly what I do.
I know I've met you a couple times, but why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about what you do and what you're all about?
You got it. So I am a mortgage broker. I own my own small mortgage brokerage company. A mortgage broker is a lender for home mortgages. I'm different than a banker because I don't work for a bank. I'm independent. And as an independent broker, I'm able to shop among all lenders, all wholesale lenders. And wholesale lenders, that's for you.
Sorry.
Wholesale lenders are typically cheaper than retail banks. You know, like I'm not going to name any because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But
I don't think you would hurt like Wells Fargo.
oh yeah, they've heard enough.
They
already.
probably have a lot of money.
Yeah, they're not going to worry about little me. So as a broker, I can get you a better rate, and you also get my one-on-one attention and that of my assistant Dana. And we walk you through the entire process and treat you like a person, not a number, which oftentimes happens at banks because they're doing so much volume. And so I pride myself on the service that we give. We can close things quickly. We're just more nimble than a bank. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Well,
But
I can
that's why-
attest to that because you've helped a lot of my clients over the last couple of years, but Jeff and I used Rob as well for this home, and it's an amazing personal process. Very personal experience.
It
So,
is. I'm honored to do it because I know
Yeah.
people trust me, and it means a lot to me that they, entrust me with such a huge financial thing. It's the biggest financial investment that most people make. So
that's how we feel too at the same time. Like your clients are entrusting you
It's
with
true.
a very, very big investment.
No pressure.
So we take care of
No
them.
pressure.
it's an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on with like interest rates right now? So say I wanted to buy an investment property and I was thinking about putting like 20% down or 25% down. Why shouldn't I keep that extra 5% cash on hand? Is there a big difference in interest rate or is it about the same?
Great question. So with investment properties, you always need to put down at least 20%. And you get a good price break if you put down 25% or more, a significant price break. I believe the rate for an investment property right now, putting down 20% is right around 5 to 5.125%. That's where it's at.
At 20%, it's
20%
already
down.
over 5%.
Yeah, for investment properties.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Primary residences are in the mid 4s,
Uh-huh.
but investment properties are right around 5 to 5.125.
Damn.
Check this out. If you put down 25% or more, you get a 3/8 I switched those. It's 5.5% if you put down 20%. It's
Wow.
5.125 if you put down 25%.
Wow.
Got
Sorry.
it.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 is for
Is 20% down. Yeah.
Whoa, that is so. That's really crazy. So, how much have rates jumped from even 1 year ago? Like this time last year, what were rates floating at?
right around 4.
4.
So
Yeah.
now they're at 4.5, 4.625.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
For a 30-year.
for a 30-year fixed, which
Yeah.
I'd say 95% or more of my clients do the 30-year fixed, especially now in the rising rate environment.
Cheers.
And this is my first one. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, we did
So-
a bunch of shots before, right?
Yeah.
To get ready for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where were we?
Would you buy an investment property right now with prices the way they are and with rates being 5.5% for 20% down?
No.
You wouldn't.
No, it would not cash flow, and the rate's too high.
Yeah.
You're just paying too much for that mortgage.
So when are you, because you've owned rental
I have.
properties, yeah. When are you gonna wait for like the next recession? What are you gonna do?
Well, everything's cyclical, so I'm definitely going to wait for the next downturn.
Mhm.
And I'm also still saving so that I can have at least 25% down because I want it to cash flow.
I know.
And
Yeah.
take advantage of the better rate.
Mhm.
More down.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do rates? Do they usually go down when say we're in the middle of a recession? Do you normally see rates get cut? Does the government cut rates to bolster the economy in the middle of a recession?
They do that a lot, but we're still technically on the rise with the economy. The economy's still going strong, so the Fed is actually doing the opposite, and they're anticipated to raise rates by twice before the end of the year.
Mm.
And I believe they're going to do 0.25% increases. So
Yep.
those are big increases. Now, the Federal Reserve affects short-term interest rates, which only affect credit cards and home equity lines of credit. The 30-year fixed rate isn't going to increase by necessarily that half point that the Fed's going to do.
Yeah.
The 30-year fixed rate may come up another 0.25 point between now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
So they're still on the rise, but not as fast as the Federal Reserve is hiking.
So that's probably what's brought our buying pool down is our investors are kind of waiting it just like you are.
I bet
They know the market really well and they're watching interest rates. I mean, the number of buyers has certainly been diminished.
Yeah.
And a lot of buyers in the last couple of years have been investors
Mhm.
who have been wanting to invest in rental properties and they're kind of waiting it out too.
So what about like just average Joe wants to buy a house? Like, take for instance that one client we're working together with, right? He has pretty good income, some student loan debt. He's trying to move from a small townhome in the Highlands to a single family residence. Pretty big jump up, like a 50%, increase in mortgage payment. Should that person get, what's the difference in rate between a 7-1 ARM, 5-1 ARM, and a 30-year fix? Because it really, I looked, and I don't know how reliable it is, but like sometimes I look online and I'll say interest rates today, right? And some, like on Redfin, it'll calculate interest rates at like 4.2, but then I'll go and look on like bankrate.com and it has 4.75. Like, what the heck is the rate today for a 5-1
Let's
ARM,
read
10-1
it.
I
ARM,
know.
and a 30-year fix?
I just call
What is
Rob.
going on? I know, just call Rob.
Please do.
Don't look
Yeah.
online.
Just
Just call
call
Rob. Call Rob.
And no obligation. Just call me
Right.
because I like talking about this stuff.
Mhm.
So what you see online is most of the time bait and switch. And what I mean by that is they'll post the absolute lowest rate and just try to get their phone to ring. And then when you call them, oh, by the way, that rate is 2 points, which is 2% of the loan amount. I mean, thousands of dollars. So most lenders do this with their online stuff because they know they're competing with everybody else online, and so to get people just to call, they just want.
They just give a teaser rate on online.
Because the rate and the APR is accurate, but it also almost all the time includes points that I'm not a believer in points because it.
Okay, well, stop right there and kind of explain that to our audience. So there's a teaser rate, like say they hook you with a 4.5% interest rate, but that 4.5 interest rate has what built into it?
A point. So at a point is 1% of the loan amount. So on a $500,000 loan, that's $5,000 right there that you're paying up front to get that interest rate.
Buy the loan down.
Yeah.
To buy the rate down.
So let's just say the going rates. We'll use real life examples. 4.5% on a 30-year fixed, or you could pay 1% of the loan amount and get that rate down to 4.25. But it takes on average about 6, sometimes 7 years to break even on that investment. It's a long time to wait for your money. It's a long payback period, in my opinion, for putting that money down today.
So oh crap. Oh, okay. We're still rolling.
Still recording? Cool.
The screen went blank. Here we go. We will resume now. So you can buy down points. So like sometimes agents will incentivize buyers by crediting some of their commission, right? And so you can buy down an interest rate.
You can.
But you would have to be there for 7 years.
5 to 7 years.
For it even to.
And then you finally break even, and then after that it's gravy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What happens? So you get a 5-1 arm. I downsized last year and bought a smaller house. And the rate, I didn't use Rob. I'm so sorry.
Well, we weren't really tight back then.
We weren't. You know
we
what?
knew of each other, but
if I did that this year, I would use Rob. U.S. Bank had a good rate. Wells Fargo can beat it, and so I got like a 2.5, 2.8, 10-1 arm. So I got a kill.
Phenomenal.
That's phenomenal, right? So that was really good. But what happens after the 10 years? What can I expect? I'm in my house for 10 years. Now what?
Then the rate becomes variable. That's why they're called an ARM. In case you don't know, ARM stands for adjustable rate mortgage. And what that means is, for instance, with you have a 10-year, right? So a 10-year ARM means the rate's fixed for 10 years. Do you know your rate? 2.5.
2.85.
Okay, that's still awesome. That's amazing.
Yep.
So
wait, cheers.
Cheers to 2.85.
Cheers.
So the rate will
free
be,
money.
You will be at 2.85 for 10 years. After that, the rate will become variable based on LIBOR, which is the London Interbank Offering Rate.
He hasn't had enough to drink.
Plus LIBOR plus a margin of 2.25%. So
what the hell does that mean?
So it's whatever rates are at that time, at that point. So in 10 years, if rates have skyrocketed, your rate's going to be a lot higher than 2.85. So you just got to be prepared
But then,
for that.
Built into that contract, right? That is my mortgage. They cap that at some point. It can never go higher than.
Yes.
Right.
You're correct.
It's pretty aggressive, isn't
it?
Those numbers can be.
They're kind of harsh.
Yeah.
So it can be up to 5% above the start rate. So if rates are out of control in 10 years, your rate would be 5. The maximum it can be after the first year is 5 points above the 2.85. So your rate could potentially be 7.85.
Which would still be a historic low rate compared to what rates were in 1980. It
Definitely.
still wouldn't be a killer.
Still cheap, yeah.
And even in 2007, when Erik and I bought our house in Dahlia Park, I think we were still close to 6% in 2006. So all things considered, it wouldn't be the end of the world if my rate was 7%.
Yeah.
Hopefully my house will be paid off by then. That's actually my goal. Is to not have any debt.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think?
Oh, if you can pay it off, more power to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What else you got, little buddy?
I don't know. Do you have you ever worked? I know. I'm like, let's ask more questions. Do you have questions?
You're an amazing interviewer. You're the one coming up with the material. I'm just sitting here.
I love the fact that
this is impromptu.
I love
There's no script.
But
I love the fact that you and I both have gone through it, and I love that for the fact in real estate, we have experienced in the last year what our clients go through. So I love the fact that we're real estate brokers, but we're doing what we are doing personally.
Yeah.
And
You sold a house.
I've sold 2 homes in the last 3 years. I didn't purchase this home. I didn't have a mortgage. Now I have a mortgage. So I've been through a lot. And I learned a lot through Rob and asked a lot of questions through the process personally.
Yeah.
Most of my questions were asked because I know clients ask them.
Yes.
They're for myself too, but clients ask those questions. So I want to know how to answer their questions, even though I know I can send them to Rob, but you want
it's
to be
nice
able
to know that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a team approach when you are doing real estate, but I learned a lot, so it's good.
Just out of curiosity, what does it take to get like a license to do mortgages? Is it hard? Is it easy?
You know,
do you have to have a 4-year degree?
You know, I thought that you did, but I thought you did. I thought that. So a lot of the laws have changed. When I started in 2001, you just needed a pulse to get become a mortgage broker. It was crazy. Everybody was doing it. A lot of bad things happened. So now it's a lot stricter. I thought that one of the changes was 4-year degree, but I know some people that don't have one that are mortgage brokers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will answer that question next time. But I'll tell you that there is a very rigorous test.
Yeah.
It's not that rigorous, but
I'm going to say that. It has to be harder than getting your real estate
I probably could not do it.
I don't know. It's different stuff, but it's less hours than you guys have to do. Hey.
Sorry. Busy night. I know. I've got contracts in the work here.
Lynn got an offer, so woo!
Yay! We're about to go pending, so I'm a little distracted.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. It's a good day. Good day.
Yeah. I always lose my place.
I know. We cheers and drink, and then we forget what we're talking about.
That feels nice. So, I shaved yesterday. I always shave every 7, 8, 9 days.
Do you?
Yeah, because it's a lot of work. You got to do all. Not only do I shave like what most people do, but I got to do this whole thing. And granted,
do the girls help you back there? Because that's hard to.
No.
Did you knock your head right there?
Yeah, I've got a few bumps. Yeah, there's some.
I see a scar.
There's a history.
Yeah, I ran into a wall. Well, I was pushed into a wall playing full court basketball. They didn't have a pad.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And, so I was going in on a fast break for a layup, and some dude went like this, thinking to make me miss, which I think I probably did, but my head got smashed over. So.
Well, that's just
that's
your head has a lot of history, Rob.
Yeah, I've got other stories, but yeah.
Hey, speaking of stories, do people ever like screw up their loan intentionally, or like?
That's a good question.
Actually, that was not planned. But
not to my knowledge, but I've never thought of that. But that's
you've never
I've never thought of somebody doing that because that's
So what would happen? So say like I actually have had phone calls referred to me from like somebody who got involved in a deal through another broker, and they're like, oh, I just don't like this house, and we thought we were going to have an inspection. They told us we could have an inspection, but now we can't have an inspection. How do we get out of the contract? We waived all of our contingencies except for financing, right?
So did they mess up their credit or something?
No, I don't think they did. It wasn't my client, but they, like, have you ever had anybody, because that's the only out, like if you have a financing contingency, the only way to get out, if all of your other contingencies are waived, but you left your financing contingency in, is if for some reason at the last minute your lender can't give you a loan. Have you ever been in that position where it's like all the way down
to the last
hour, or like the last week, and then it goes through underwriting, and underwriting's like, they just like bought a Ferrari. Have you ever had anything like that?
It's happened if somebody loses their job.
Yeah.
So, they have a job, when you start the loan process. The loan process is about 30 days. And then if they don't tell me, what happens is all lenders do this. On the day that your loan closes, they call your employer for this reason, to make sure you still have a job. Now, you didn't go buy a boat or something? That too. If you buy a car. Yeah. I've had people do that too and mess things up. And then I'd have to switch their loan to something else. To different terms in order to still be qualified. But no, I had somebody lose their job and not tell me. I can't remember if he quit or lost his job, but didn't tell me. And that happened. After they signed the documents, the final loan documents and everything, and we thought it was a done deal. And
so I'm always advising clients, you probably are too, and maybe you do this, but just be still for about 30 days. Don't be doing
Yeah,
anything
no
crazy.
big purchases.
Don't be buying stuff.
Yeah,
anything
keep
to hit
your job.
credit score.
Don't-
Keep your job.
Stay away from Crate and Barrel and Restoration
That's
Hardware.
right.
And
Yeah.
the Ferrari
Don't open any new
dealership.
credit cards. Like, just don't do that.
Yeah,
Get
try
through the
to
closing process.
be cool for 30 days.
Be cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheers. Be
Wait,
cool.
Cheers.
hold on.
Cheers
I
to
need
being cool.
I'm sorry.
You
I
need a
jumped on my
refill.
line.
Yeah, Krista.
Don't put bigger.
It was her
on.
birthday yesterday.
It was.
Cheers to that.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm a little older.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm wiser.
You're younger than Rob
Hold
and
on,
I.
cheers.
All day long.
Happy
That's
birthday.
one thing I have on both of you is that I'll always be younger.
Well, that is true. Maybe not
Yeah.
cooler.
Not cooler. Not prettier. More handsome.
Well,
Prettier
that's
than me.
true.
For sure.
All right. Well, this has been one
Super
about the market.
Fun and
And
informative.
I know.
And we didn't really whine a whole lot
No,
tonight.
we didn't.
So
I know it's
cheers
because it's
to
so
a good
beautiful
episode.
out.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. You have to be happy on a day like today.
There's no whining.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
joining
me.
us, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
last cheers.
thank you.
Last cheers. Let's
All right,
whine
drink
about the
up.
market soon.
Ready? If we cheers, we got to drink.
If we
Okay.
cheers, we got to drink.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.